Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. My name is Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and an intuitive card reader. I've got a message today for the earth signs. This is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Please feel free to like, subscribe, or comment if you feel compelled to in the course of this reading. It does help to support the channel. And I have, before we get to your message, I've got it all ready to go. Before we get to your message, I wanted to invite you to a special concert that's happening live over YouTube next week. It is going to be at 7 o'clock Mountain Time on Friday the 24th. So I'm also a professional pianist, and I have really missed playing concerts, playing live for people. So my duo partner and I have put together this awesome show of classic rock tunes reimagined for piano, ukulele, and guitar. So they're kind of quirky, but kind of fun. So we'd love to see you there, and the link's in the description below. So let's get straight to your reading. It's not an easy message, but it's a pretty concise one. We've got the Seven of Swords going into the Ten of Wands, going into the Page of Pentacles. So this is deception about the way you think you have to make money, what you think you have to do to hold up your end of the bargain, what you think you have to do to make others happy, to make yourself happy. So Ten of Wands has to do with holding up too many things. So it can be that you're doing too much at work, you're getting involved in things that really aren't your problem with the family. And also, you kind of think you have to do this. This is our Page of Pentacles, and you think you have to do this to grow. And that can mean grow in position, grow in status, grow in money. But it's really important to look at the Seven of Swords, because something's not right. Something's not complete in all of this. And something is being taken away from you, or you're taking away something from yourself. So in thinking that these are the kinds of things that you have to do to make money, to get your stuff done, to get everything done, you're really deceiving yourself and you're not being honest. And in the end, it's actually draining you. It's creating alliances that are not mutually beneficial. It is actually taking people's respect away from you. That's coming through right now. You think that you might be gaining it by getting more responsibility, doing more, but actually you're losing respect. You're losing esteem. So you're like, okay, well, what do I do about it? Tell me what I do. So it's very, very easy. And they only give me 2 cards. They usually give me more. 10 of Cups and Ace of Cups. And so this is the beginning of a cycle. This is the ending of the cycle. And the idea that holds cups together is emotions and it's love. And so what they're saying is what's missing from all of this, and literally what's missing from this, we've got an air, we've got an earth, and we've got a fire. The only element we're missing is water, which is over here. So what's missing from here is your emotional involvement, your true heart, your really the love for what you're doing. If you were really truthful with yourself, you would understand and you would know. And you do know. That's the thing, is I don't have to tell you this. You know that it's not fulfilling your emotional needs. You know that it's not taking care of your heart. And you know that you're not being able to really express the self-love and the joy that you ought to be feeling at this job, at this work, involved with these kind of people. So we're talking about, let's look at the job from a relationship aspect. Instead of just looking at the cold hard cash and the responsibilities and thing you're supposed to be doing, we need to look at the relationship component. How does this job help your relationship with yourself grow? How does it help you grow in self-appreciation, in self-love? How does it help you discover emotional depths that you didn't know that you had? And lastly, the 10 of Cups over here, how does it help you feel emotionally complete? And if you're like, well, heck, my job doesn't do that for me, I don't feel any emotional involvement, it's just a 9 to 5, then this is time to start shifting your perspective about your job. This is about shifting your perspective about the way you show up to that job. I'm not talking about changing jobs. I didn't get any cards telling me to talk about that. We're talking about shifting your perception, because when we get this sword card, swords do represent perception. So this deceptive perception, this thieving perception, is not something that needs to be with you anymore. So If you change jobs but keep the same perception, you're going to have the same thing happen. So this is about shifting your perception. So it's time to start thinking, okay, how does this job help me? How does this job open me up emotionally? How does this job engage and use my heart? How am I developing emotionally through this job? And maybe it's not pretty emotional stuff. Maybe it's learning how to navigate interpersonal conflicts that aren't so great. But the important thing is that you start to understand the job as a relationship as well, that you start to look at your emotional wealth, not just your material wealth. Okay, that's a message for me too. Let us look at Capricorn first, is who they would like us to do. So a message for Capricorn, please. Yeah, interesting, because we're getting more emotional cards, which Capricorn, you're kind of like, what? What's that? We've got the Star card, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Ten of Cups. So this is a challenge, but it is such a good challenge for you, and I'm excited because Capricorns love a challenge, and I know you're going to go at this until you get this. Something in your soul has been kind of saying, things aren't really right. We really are missing that emotional component I was just talking about, but in a big way. We're missing that emotional, getting the word attrition, that emotional growth. We're missing that. And that's really making us feel empty inside. That's really making us feel kind of bogged down, they're saying, bogged down and heavy. And so you recognize that there has to be a reconciliation of your heart and soul, of your heart and mind, that being responsible for everyone else and putting your emotions way down at the bottom of the pile, that doesn't feel good anymore. Emotions are the pathway to intuition, and it's the pathway to spirituality. And we look at water signs, we earth signs look at water signs going, oh my God, because it just looks like they're in the ocean all the time. They're crying, they're happy, they're moody. And we're just kind of like, I don't get that. But when we cut off that part of ourselves from growing, when we just shut it down, which we love to do as Capricorns, when we just shut that down, it really doesn't allow you to be a full person, and part of you misses it. Even though it's uncomfortable for you, part of you misses it. I'm knowing it's uncomfortable because we've got this Five of Wands here. And we've got Five of Wands going into the King of Cups. So something is going to be happening this week where you're going to be asked to show up not as the earthly provider, but as the emotional provider. And it is going to feel uncomfortable as heck. It's really going to feel awful. You're going to be like, no, I don't want this. And it's going to feel like a big test. And Capricorns are so competent. You're so good at what you do, but this is one of the areas you'd have some test anxiety about. If someone says you need to show up emotionally for someone, you're kind of like, what? What does that even mean? I don't know if I can do that. And so there's a little bit of fear about it, but there's also a little bit of excitement because your soul has been like, this is what I've wanted for such a long time. I've been waiting for you to come to this place. I really want you to do this. And so, go with it. That's the best I can say. You can handle this. It's coming from a higher place. It's coming from your soul. It's not just coming from your bored ego. This is coming from a higher place. Even though it's going to stretch you and challenge you, it is really going to allow you to have emotional mastery. And I know that's something you love to have is mastery. So allow yourself to be that emotional provider this week because it's something you've been missing. And it's something that your soul is really... It's like a desert. You're dry for. You need that water. You need to be feeling those emotions a lot deeper because it's time. They're putting through information right now. It's time. It's time for this stuff to happen for you. It's time to move forward. And it's not that you're running out of time, but the time is now. And you are very aware of timing. The time is now. Okay. Moving on to Taurus or Virgo. Virgo. Okay, doing Virgo. And they would like me to do 4 cards for Virgo. Okay. Whoa! Okay, Virgo. I know, you don't want to hear that sound. Okay. All right. You get to step up to your leadership role this week, and you get to be decisive, and you get to be the one in charge. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but that's what you got to do. We've got the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Devil looking at the Five of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Cups, and we've got the King of Wands. Now, we've got two things going on, but we're going to the same place. You are convincing yourself that you're not enough. You're convincing yourself that you're not worthy. It's like you're not good enough. That's what they're coming through with. You're feeling you're not good enough, that you don't have the skills that you need, that you don't have the competence that you need. And of course, this is not true. This is something you're saying to yourself so you can kind of you can keep the man down. The man can keep you down, but the man is you. So you're doing this because you're just not, you don't have the faith in yourself that you've got everything that you need. And you're being asked to be a leader this week, the King of Wands, to step forward with that initiative, with that knowing, with that confidence, with all of that forceful fire energy, because you need to be decisive this week. This is not the week to sit in the sidelines. This is the week to get things done. And you're worried that you're going to lose people. You're worried that you're going to lose face. You're worried that you're going to make people pissed off if you do what you're supposed to do. If you do what you're supposed to do based on what you know. And you're so worried about that loss that you've decided to convince yourself you've created this devil, this demon for yourself, this negative self-sabotage that's going to keep you down so that you never come out and experience your power, that you never come out and you take leadership, you never come out. And it's crucial to understand that this is not true. This is stuff that your mind is inventing. If we were to put this on paper and list all of your credentials and your qualifications and your skills, we would see that you are more than qualified for this job. But your mind is so afraid. You are so afraid of this because you know what? It's out of your control. This is out of your comfort zone and you're really afraid to go there. But it's creating this situation for you with your thoughts, your emotions, and your general feeling, your general vibe for this week. So if you're not ready to take the leadership, nothing is saying you have to. But I want you to know that you've got everything it takes to do this. You've got the knowledge, you've got the intellect, like I said, you have the skill set, and you know the direction. You've observed long enough that you see which way it's supposed to go. I don't know where that came from. That just came out of nowhere. So remember that. You're going to have a chance. And so do you continue to let this negative self-talk, this negative sabotage get in your way, or do you allow yourself to step forward? Ooh, that's a big one, guys. So, all right, on to Taurus. Message for Taurus, please. 4 cards, they're saying from the top. Okay. Interesting stuff going on here. Let's get them all. I don't read cards upside down. This deck was designed to have the cards read upright, and so I like to honor the wishes of the author. And I also, when I was trained with tarot, it doesn't improve your statistics really to read upside down cards, and the vocabulary of the tarot is so profuse that even the upside down card meanings, you'd already get them if you had them right side up. So that's why I flip my cards over, just in case you're wondering. So we have 4 of Swords, and the Knight of Wands is riding into her. King of Swords is riding into Knight of Wands, and then we've got the Knight of Pentacles going off here. So our direction, our action is actually focused this way, not this way. So we need to hold off on action. We need to hold off on searching for money. We need to hold off on searching for that perfect mate right now. Your focus needs to become less laser focused. So what do I mean by that? So we're just going to put this guy down for a second. We're going to look at these other ones. King of Swords into Knight of Wands into 4 of Swords. So we want to put a plan into action. We have a plan. We've got it sorted out. We know exactly what we want. We know how it's going to happen. It's all logically made. It's all logically put together. And we're so impatient. We just want to put this plan into motion. We're like, I've got this all figured out. All I need to have is this plan happen. Universe, okay, here I go. And the universe is saying, not quite yet. Not quite yet. You're so impatient to put this into motion. And that's why I also said to drop this other night. Nights, we've got 2 of them, talk about motion. They talk about action. They talk about getting something done. And not only is this guy riding off into a direction away from the spread, which is why we're putting him down, this guy is running right into someone who looks like she's dead. And she's not. She's meditating. She's resting. But this is saying, cool your jets. Cool your jets. The timing's not right. Yes, you have your plan made. Yes, it's solid. Yes, it's everything you want. You've got your rights and wrongs sorted out. But it's not the right time to put this into action. If you put it into action so soon, it's not going to hold together. I've got this vision of an omelet breaking apart when you try to flip it. And I know that there's that saying, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, but if you try to flip the omelet before it's cooked, it falls apart. And I think that's what they're going for. Yes, you've got your eggs in one basket, but just wait a second. Keep meditating on it. Keep putting better thought energy into it. Keep trusting that it's going to come to life when it needs to. It's just not time this week. And Tauruses, you're patient. You'll be able to take that. I know you can be impulsive too, but please heed this because that egg image was really funny. And because when it is the right time, it's just going to flow. If we try to do it now, it's not going to work. It's going to burn up too quickly. It's not going to have the staying power that you want it to have. Just be patient a little while longer. I will look forward to next week being a different message. I'm also a Taurus. I'd love things to move forward, but I recognize it's time to be patient as well. So thanks so much for joining me. I really do enjoy doing these readings, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.